not much happening today, not at all. Father-in-law's just gone back home to Vietnam, so he was with us for 3 months, which was super cool. So just gonna stop into Motor Lab in a bit and see what's up with the car, see how long it's gonna be, and see how much it's gonna cost, because I don't think it's gonna be great. Anyways, a few projects coming in this week, so we'll be working on those, but other than that, sorry guys. So earlier today you would have seen me saying, oh, I'm so excited to go to Motor Lab and whatnot. I'm currently sitting at home enjoying some tiramisu because I was initially very excited to go to Motor Lab today to see my car, see the updates, and then I get a message saying that he's done the work on the downpipe and there's still a lot of vibrations going through the car, and he's also mentioned that there's a noise coming from the car. I'll drop in exactly what he said somewhere here so you guys can have a read, but it's just, luckily I didn't get this news on Friday. My weekend was really good, so I was really happy come Monday to hopefully find out everything that's going on with the car, but it just seems like finding the issue is relatively going to be really hard. So what I'm proposing in my head is to just take off the turbo, take off all the extra additional parts that I've put on the car and see what's the issue, and just go from that point to see, is it the engine mounts? I've got a second set of engine mounts that I can put on, so I put those on and hopefully locate what the issue is. I've even got a spare K-swap that I can possibly, I don't want to, but I could possibly do that. So prior to all this happening, it's hard to pinpoint when because it's been years ago, but the last thing that I can recall done to my car was the ARP head studs, and I had to change over some cams because my cams were scored or they were worn, really worn. So very possibly I might change the actual motor itself and see, but like I said, I'll do one thing at a time. I'll take off the turbo first, I'll take off the manifold and put on extractors, and hopefully we'll find out where the vibration is coming from. If it's the gearbox, then we can take off the gearbox, put on a new gearbox, because the only thing that's changed in my gearbox that I can recall is I replaced my final drive from 4.7 to 4.3, but it's hard to say because after everything was done I never really drove the car. I started, it idled in my driveway and whatnot. Everything seemed fine, but it's just the drive, and I don't remember it being that bad ever. So, and that's on me from probably dragging this project on for the last 6 years, 4 years, 5, I don't know. It's been a long time. I just remember that I can't remember a lot. That's what I remember. So I'm gonna try to pull that, investigate, tear down the car, and we'll find out. So at least it'll give you guys the insight of, this is what happens when you build your own cars. This is what happens when I build my own cars. But it doesn't make sense, because how can a simple turbo kit, turbo install, change this much? This doesn't make sense. I've done with all my other K swaps, B swaps. B swaps went fine, I think, but it's missing the O2 sensors, the main problem. I'd rather that than vibrations to try to figure out what's the issue. So I'm sorry guys, it's just we're taking a couple steps forward and then more steps backwards at this point. So eventually we'll get there, and I'm going to try to focus, but in the meantime I've already got other projects lined up. I've already got other projects lined up that I want to do. So alright, we'll just try to stay focused as much as possible and see what we can do. But like I said, sorry man, this video is gonna be a little bit crappy. Sorry, this video is crappy. So I managed to get down to Motor Lab today, and safe to say that I kind of overreacted thinking from that message. I don't think it's that bad, but there are a lot of issues, little minor issues that we have to try to get to the bottom of. A lot of noises come from the car, so Henry's been able to pinpoint a few of those noises. When I get a chance, I'll be replacing those and fixing those when I get to it. On top of that is I actually took the car for a drive in comparison to when we first drove it, and to see how bad it was, and it's a night and day difference. The car is actually drivable now. Still very stiff and rattly, but in comparison to what I was experiencing last time, all the shakes and jolts, that literally all gone now. A lot more smooth. And what I noticed was we can finally hear some turbo spooling noises. So the car was whistling, absolutely whistling, which sounds really good. But there is a clunk in the gearbox, or a clunk somewhere that's not very nice. Sorry, my phone. Not very nice, so we have to figure out that one at a time. So I've got a friend coming over on Wednesday. I just need a helping hand, just because these little minor setbacks, really, it just puts me off. It puts me off completely working on the car, because I'm just weak-minded when it comes to like setbacks. I get so excited I'm riding up here, and then when all these issues happen, I just like drop completely down and I become demotivated, can't be bothered. And like I said, I'm happy to tear things apart, but I don't really want to do that. I don't really want to go backwards. And that's the thing. So like I said, managed to clear up a lot of those things with Henry. Like I said, because the way he's driving now, could possibly go for a tune, but at the same time it's like, why bother at the moment? So we'll do that. So we're going to go through each of the issues and find out what the problems are and tidy up the engine bay where possible, because Henry did mention that, you know, you should really care about presentation. And like I said to him, I was just like, this is how my brain, what you see in the engine bay is pretty much how my brain put things together. I work on this thing and I work on that thing, and because I've already worked on one thing, I'll make this one work with the other thing without actually going back to the drawing board and saying, does that make sense? So I'll definitely clean that up, but I probably won't do any of this tomorrow. Hopefully I've got a I have a MRI appointment, so they've got to check. Sorry about that, battery died. Let me get back into position. Yeah, so tomorrow I've got an MRI appointment, so I have to go to that early in the morning. So I don't know how long that will take, so I can't promise any car content or anything like that. I was expecting this whole car content thing would have been more action and less drama, but I'm doing what I can. So like I said to you guys before, I've got a spare, not a spare, a backup K20 conversion. So this is the full conversion. So I've got spare blocks, I've got engine mounts wiring, I've got a whole bunch of drive shafts, and this is a K20 A2 electric water pump. All the luxuries are deleted off this car, no power steering, no nothing. So this was expected to go inside the EK, but at this point I think I want to turbo the EK, just for, why not? I think it'd be a lot more fun, but I'm not too sure yet, so I'll figure that out. But like I said, I go from 0 to 100 really quick, and I'm glad that I've got someone like Henry saying around me saying, yeah, you don't have to go that far. So I'll dive down and I'll find these issues, but the car drives so much nicer. I would have got Henry to say all this, but I don't like shoving cameras in people's faces, not yet anyway. So alright, so if you guys, I'm letting you guys know tomorrow will most likely be all hospital content, me roaming around the hospital and stuff like that where I can. So just letting you know. Alright, see you guys.